We need the oxygen of attention, man. You know what I mean?
What's up, YouTube? Oh, yes. Yeah, that's good.
What's up, YouTube? Hello. Good to see you. Even though I can't see, well, it's good to see my webcam. I've been away for a little bit. Been a bit busy. Work has been giving me hell. Even though I'm actually off sick with long COVID, so that's been a bit of a nightmare. It's preoccupied me a bit, and I had to restart my PC because my hard drive kept getting too full, and it's very boring, but that's been a pain in the ass as well. So I've had to reinstall everything and etc. Back with something a bit different, a bit new. So this is James Waugh. He is a stand-up who I don't know much about. I've had a little bit of chat on Twitter with him, and he asked me to react to some of his live stand-up. So here it is, and I will talk to you afterwards. The magic headphones. Here we go.
I was going to do some drug jokes, but I'm keeping it clean. I was going to write some blue material, but I only had a black pen. My best friend asked me, name a celebrity you wouldn't want as a name a celebrity you wouldn't want as a swimming teacher. I said, I don't know, Whitney Houston. Although she'd be good at spooning. Apollo 30 were right. She did have a problem. I found out something recently that Marvel have brought like Dexter out of the comics as a superhero. And I think, what's a superpower going to be? Like, slice one on the slice of the cheek and kill them. Could you imagine if they brought Harold Shipman as a character? It'll come up with a warning label, not suitable for the elderly. It'll come with an hypodermic needle. I've started a new diet where it consists of me eating a lot of weed. Luckily, it's plant-based. My best friend's a coke addict, and you can draw a line. I'm an actor and I love coke, which is how I learn lines. Last Christmas, I gave Rudolph cocaine. It's the only time he had a white Christmas. My best friend, tell you about him. He's substituted sugar with amphetamines. Now he does a 30-minute ride and does a 30-minute commute in 10 minutes. I used to have a friend that took playing games a bit too far. I used to have a game of hangman, but I got sick of rope burns from around his neck. Still won though. My best friend's been talking about suicide. Not his, mine. He's not a good friend. My best friend's been battling with depression. Depression 1. My girlfriend told me she got slimmer of the month. I went to the doctors the other day and they told me she got rid of it. Appreciations for it. Let me try and think where to go with this now. Can you imagine if, like, I don't know, someone was going to assassinate the president outside of the supermarket? Would it be on target? Do you remember a couple of years ago when they brought out those Walker's crisps? And they named them after footballers. Like you had Smokey Beckham, Smokey Bacon. Gary Lineker, Gary Lineker. But wasn't a big fan of David Seaman. A bit soggy. I mean, Wayne Rooney's even got his own brand of crisps, hasn't he? Fucking Monster Munch. I remember going back, when I go think of memories at school, I remember we used to supply drugs, preferably cocaine. All I kept thinking was, what class?
Okay. You may have noticed I wasn't laughing that much. Well, James, first of all, the sound is really bad, and that's not your fault. It was your mate recorded it, I think you said, on an iPhone. So that is the first caveat. It's always very important, obviously, that your audience hear you. I think they heard you. I couldn't hear all the jokes, so there was a few where I missed where the punchline was. I assume you're just starting out. I can't really give. Well, I can give advice. I don't like giving advice. I'm not a stand-up, but I have done some stand-up. I also used to be an actor for a bit and worked professionally, so I know a little bit about performing. I think your material is quite good. I think it appears that you don't remember it very well, which is completely understandable, especially if you're starting out. The whole thing is actually, I think, well, it's 11 minutes on YouTube, and I assume the whole of your act was 12 minutes plus. That is an enormous amount of material to remember and to learn. And unless you're used to it or very, very good at remembering stuff or whatever, that's going to be hard. I mean, when I started doing stand-up, I did open mic nights, and you do 3 minutes usually. And that 3 minutes, you learn absolutely 100%, because you cannot afford to stop and think, what is the next joke? Because the second you stop, the audience starts feeling uncomfortable. The second your attention wanders, they start feeling uncomfortable. I think you've got potential to be good, and James tells me that he's got quite a lot of gigs coming up over the summer, and my advice to you is, and I hope that you post more stuff, and we can see the improvement, and I may well do another reaction at that point. For now, I think you've slightly focus. For now, I think you've slightly overwhelmed yourself by learning or trying to learn too much, too many jokes, and not being able to remember them when you're up in front of a crowd, which, as I say, is totally understandable, because doing stand-up is one of the hardest things you can possibly imagine. I mean, not one of the hardest things in the world, but I mean one of the hardest things in terms of performing. It's not as hard probably as having a baby or fighting a war, against, I don't know, Chinese mercenaries or something like that. But it is extremely challenging. It makes you very, very nervous. You really want to crap yourself before you start. And if you don't know your material 100%, then it becomes extremely stressful when you're up there in front of people. So there you go. I would just say that it's quite good. I mean, props to you for getting up and actually and doing it, because frankly, even, I mean, I did a little bit of stand up and I just shat myself in the end and gave up. I didn't literally like shit myself on stage, but I mean, I got nervous and stopped, um, because it was just very stressful. So thank you, James. Sorry, I wasn't laughing madly all the way through, but let's see if you can improve your act to some extent, and maybe I'll do another reaction to you. Please check out James's channel. The link will be below, and you know, give him all the support, give him the views, and support his channel, because like all struggling whatever comedians, YouTubers, you know, we need the oxygen of attention, man. You know what I mean? And also, you know, even if I haven't given you an amazing review, all publicity is good publicity. Remember that, James. Little tip for you there from a sage old out of focus man in the autumn of his years. And thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, make a comment below, etc., to me. Thank you, Blind Tube Mayor, that's me. And don't nobody go nowhere.